Hi guys, my name is Anastasia and welcome to my channel. Today I decided to do a simple video about what macros are and why the whole fitness community, especially fitness models and competitors in bikini and other categories, are completely obsessed with it. Of course, you can do your own research. The only reason I'm making this video is to simplify so you get it once and for all what are the macros. Macros are basically the three things that every single food you can think of is made of. So we have protein, fat and carbs. And the only difference is that each food has different proportions of each single macro in their food. If you're eating chicken breasts, they're very high in protein, very low in fat. While if you're eating salmon, it's high fat and high protein. You see what I mean? Not to confuse with calories, because one tub of ice cream, for example, can equal the same calories as 2 pieces of fish. So try not to be confused about calories and macros. They're completely two different things. Calories is the total value of the whole product in terms of energy, and macros are just the components that each food group has. Whenever you see some fitness model, for example, saying they eat 200 grams of protein a day, it doesn't mean that they eat 200 grams of chicken, because 200 grams of chicken on average has about 54 grams of protein. So how can this information be useful to you? The simplest way to find out what food you're eating, what macros it has, is to just use the free app that everybody's using in the fitness world that's called MyFitnessPal, or you can just simply Google every single thing you eat if you're curious in how much of protein, fat and carbs you're eating. The reason it's very important for me right now, because I'm doing a preparation for the bikini competition, I have certain amount of macros to hit during the day. For example, right now I am on 200 grams of protein, which means a lot of chicken, if you can imagine, 100 grams of fat and 100 grams of carbs. With MyFitnessPal, it's very easy to find out where am I at. Of course, I wanted to mention the very famous "if it fits your macro" diet that you also might have seen on social media all over. And what it means is that as long as you're hitting your numbers during the day that you've been given by a coach or given yourself, it doesn't matter where they come from. I'm kind of 50-50 about this idea, because you do want to make sure that the protein, for example, you're eating comes from the best sources you can, and also the fats are mostly coming from either animal fats or things like avocado and olive oil, but not from something like ice cream, not something artificial. And the same with carbs. You could either have potatoes or white rice, or you can have cake. You see what I mean? The only great thing about this, if it fits your macro diet, is that it allows you to be a little bit more sane when you're doing a bikini competition right now. Like for me, it's completely sanity, because if I have 100 grams of carbs a day, I can either go for potatoes, rice, but not very big amounts, or I can just kind of save it for the whole day and have a bagel at night. And of course, it doesn't mean that you're starving, not at all, because if you try to estimate how much chicken I need to eat for 200 grams of protein, it's about 800 grams of chicken or any other protein source. This is where protein shakes come in very handy, because sometimes I just don't feel hungry, or I don't feel like eating so much protein during the day in terms of physical form. So just having a protein shake, 1 scoop of protein, a bit of milk, or sometimes I add protein yogurt, really helps you to consume protein easily, faster, and just convenience, especially if you're on the go. Another way it's very helpful to you is to realize that if you eat, let's say, 2000 calories a day, and you go to the gym and you run, and then the machine says you burned, I don't know, 200 calories, it doesn't mean that you can eat 200 calories more. And it also doesn't mean that the 200 calories you burned come from actual fats or carbs that you ate, that your body makes into fat on your body. Really try to avoid looking at the calories you burn during fitness as calories you now catch up on eating. Calories overall are a very helpful way to see where you're at, because you shouldn't really consume so many calories that you can't burn during the day, that keep transforming into fat on your body. But really the best way is to analyze your macros. If you eat a lot of fat, a lot of carbs, but very little protein during the day, you know is that something you need to change, because eating a lot of protein takes a lot of energy for your body to digest, and this is actually how you burn calories as well, by your body digesting it. Naturally, you need balance in all three. You can't just have a lot of protein, zero fat and zero carbs. First of all, I don't think anybody ever can do this. Please also keep in mind that carbs are literally everywhere. And I was speaking to my friend the other day who was thinking that carbs are only in things like sweets, pasta, pizza, burgers, but no, carbs are also in fruits, in certain vegetables. For example, right now I'm trying not to consume onions because they're quite high in carbs. When I start counting macros, it's a really fun game and challenge to realize what the foods are actually made of. So if we take two different people who eat the same amount of calories, and one person diet, let's say, comes from 50% protein, 25 fat and 25 carbs, and another person all calories come from, let's say, 80% of carbs and only 10% protein and fat, they will have completely different body compositions. One can be very muscular and another one can be quite overweight. This is a good example of people you see or you work with, and they seem like they don't eat a lot, big meals, but they're constantly maybe munching or snacking, and they're probably consuming a lot of fat and a lot of carbs. Estimating macros for each individual is quite a tricky process. You probably need a professional. There are certain guidelines that our government give us, but truly it's usually a lot more carbs, a lot more fat. As I said in one of my latest videos, I'm really happy to count your macros for you. So if anybody's interested, again, just drop me a line on my email, I'll put it below. And just send me everything you eat in a day. Send me pictures, send me amounts, send me the brands of food you eat, and I will try to evaluate your macros. And again, I'm not a nutritionist, but I will be able to tell you very easily if you're overeating on carbs or fats or you're undereating protein, which is usually the case. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, write me in the comments, and also hit the like button if you like this video and if you want me to do more kind of dummies things, because I feel like a lot of fitness bloggers and fitness people talk about these things like it's a given, but I personally wasn't educated on this subject at all before I started working out with a personal trainer. So yeah, all information is here for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!